Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Tales of Xillia. In the last episode, we arrived here, we infiltrated the base of operations where Gillen and the Olympian army are based here in the E.S.S Zenethra, a gigantic cruise ship that survived going through the schism 20 years ago. This is where Gillen is at, and we have found out that he's locked up behind a door behind barrier bars, that in order to disable them, we have to go to the port and starboard sides to disable the generators and stuff like that. That's what we're going to be doing in today's episode. We're going to be essentially going through the dungeon.
Alvin, you must have been some kind of celebrity if you were on a ship this grand.
Celebrity? Please. My natural grace and talent need no such qualifiers.
That's one way of putting it, Alvin. I will say this, and I said this in the last episode. This dungeon, it goes away after you leave. It's a one-time dungeon that you cannot return to. So, any stuff you find, you should be going out of your way to find. You should be going out of your way to find all the treasure chests and stuff like that. Now, I will say that this place is really overly complicated. Whenever I pull up the map, you will see why. This place you can kind of get lost in really easily. But one thing I really do enjoy is the music. I'll let you listen to it for a little bit. Until we get into a battle. I'll let you listen to it more whenever we get into it. I cut this battle in. I'm going to be cutting out most of the battles here because the gimmick of this dungeon is they send in reinforcements after a while. And they'll have respawning enemies and stuff like that. So this is actually kind of a good place to grind if you're kind of low level at this point. I don't see why you would be, but those guys that we saw there, the gigantic monster robot things, they are kind of quick enemies, and they tend to trap you in order for the fire guys to come over and, you know, flame you and stuff like that. But I'm gonna let you guys listen to the music for just a moment. I really like this track. But yeah, I really like the track of the E.S.S Zenethra. And I'm going to change up my arts here because I just now realized I didn't put on any arts, because you probably saw in that last battle I was running against an enemy, not doing anything. Well, I was trying to do my side circle art attack, and I realized when Muse became delinked with me earlier, I didn't replace that art because I had her on that art, that server strike I normally have on. It was kind of funny. It was just like, I was running at the enemies, like, what the heck, man? But, these enemies are just recolors of other enemies that we've seen before. So, it's nothing new. But, like I said before, this area can be really, really freaking hard after a while. It's really hard to navigate this place because it's just so big. And not only that, it goes in a labyrinth of little paths and all this other stuff. So, you really got to be mindful. Don't hesitate to open up your map to see where you're going. But we're here at the starboard deck here, and there's a treasure chest in this room. Inside is a sacred helm, really good, powerful armor type helmet. And I'm going to go ahead and equip that to Jude because that was a lot stronger than what I had, so that's actually kind of good. Only Rowan, Alvin, and Jude can equip that. But right there, there's no other door. That was the only door that led out outside. But like I said in the last episode, you can find silver Bacoras here. And on this whole entire playthrough, I ran into like 3 of them. So I'm going to tell you guys a story. When I first played this game, I was trying to, you know, achievement hunt and trophy hunt and stuff like that. I was trying to fill out my monster book, which so far we've run into almost every enemy in this entire game. But the thing is, though, I was missing a silver Bacora. And I looked up everywhere online. I could not find that guy at all. And then I looked online as they were on the E.S.S Zenethra. And like I said before, this dungeon you don't come back to. This is a missable dungeon. So I was like, well, crap, I'm going to have to play the whole entire game again just to get that. Well, no, I found out later that they're in a different area too. And when we get to it, I'll mention that. So don't you worry about that. Anyways, right here, they took the gimmick from Orda Palace, making a Lotus Ring that warps you on the other side of the half of the ship here. So, if you need to get to from the starboard side, you go to the port side. If you are from the port side, you got to go to the starboard side. That's what those Lotus Rings do. Be mindful where these rooms are at. There's a grand total of 2 rooms that are like that in the entire dungeon. So it's really helpful when you're trying to navigate this ship. As you guys can see, I'm constantly opening up my map to kind of just make sure where I'm going. Trying to grab as many chests as I can. We got a food item here. I'm not really going to be using that because I really don't use food.
We need to reinforce the port side defenses.
Port sector, roger that. We're sending additional troops your way.
That was a little radio chit-chat that I was talking about them sending in reinforcements. After a while, they'll send in reinforcements, which, if you are... How this works, and it may sound really weird, if you're on the starboard side and you hear that chatter, they'll appear on the port side. So there'll be more enemies popping up and everything. But, so that way that this area is always cluttered with enemies. So you're going to be leveling up quite a lot in this dungeon, actually. But if we come up here, we can go through one of these doors here. I was trying to see if there was any treasure chest. And sure enough, there was one over here. Let's go ahead and open it. Inside is more jet black feathers, which we're doing pretty good so far about that. But we're on the port deck. This leads you back to this place. So if you're really needing to take a quick heal and everything, that's kind of a good way. But that's where that leads. You couldn't go there normally, and I don't know why they were not letting you do that, but it's kind of weird that they couldn't let you do that for the first time. I always wondered why they... It was like, Gaius went here, we should just let him be. I was just like, why can't we just follow Gaius? We're going to the same place. But, anyways... That's kind of if you need to go back to heal. That's where those are at. But pretty much, the E.S.S Zenethra is actually kind of one of my favorite dungeons in the entire game. And I really like the atmosphere of this ship. You really feel like you're on a luxury cruise ship, and it's a military base too. They turn the luxury cruise ship into a military base, and I really like that design of a dungeon. Not only that, it's just like, you know, a regular ship where, you know, you're moving around and stuff like that. You have a lot of navigating and getting through stuff and everything, and there's really little room to run away from these enemies. I kept this battle in because we have a new enemy here, the gigantic Mecha Golem, whatever it is. I didn't get the name of it, but these guys are weak to earth. So be mindful that if you really need to beat them really fast, because golem enemies are really one of the most annoying enemies to fight in this game. Their weakness, if you exploit their weakness, it really helps you fight them. Of course, it really helps you if you exploit their weakness in all the other games. But that's pretty much that in a nutshell. The mecha golems are really annoying.
This is the starboard sector. Enemy activity is increasing. We need reinforcements.
Roger that. Dispatching reinforcements to starboard side. Defend your positions to the last man.
Okay, see, like I said before, every now and then they'll send in reinforcements. I think it's like set on a timer for like every, I want to say 5 minutes. I'm not too sure about that, but like every like a few minutes they'll do the chit chatter where they get the reinforcements in. So that way you're always fighting enemies here. So there's really no, there's no way you can not get any levels from here unless you just refuse to level up your Lilium orbs and stuff like that. But anyways, there's more bags here. But what we need to do, if you look at your map here, we need to get to on the very, very end of both sides. We need to go into those circle rooms at the very, very end on the right side of the ship on the map. And we need to get there into both the circle rooms on both sides, because that's where the generators are. So pretty much it's kind of like a maze in a sense. If you look at the map, it'll kind of feel like a maze in a sense. But be mindful that if you go in different routes and stuff like that, you'll be finding paths that are blocked, that'll have treasures behind them. So you kind of want to check every nook and cranny of this place. Like I said, you won't be coming back to this place, so you kind of want to. And another room that's like this, it has a warp room inside. And we got a reverse doll here. That is an accessory that I think I couldn't read that in time. I think it prevents KOs for one-time use in battle. It's actually kind of a helpful item if you really need to. But as you guys can see, it has a warp room right here. So you'll be able to warp on the other side. And like I said before, there's 2 circles on the very right side of the ship. That's where we need to go. We need to do that on both ends. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You kind of want to look at all the bookshelves and stuff like that, because that's where materials are at, and you'll be able to grab as many materials as you can, because it may look like it. This kind of feels like a final dungeon-like area. If you, in most RPGs, it's just like, oh, we're heading into the enemy's headquarters. This isn't the final dungeon. I would have told you if it was a final dungeon. But anyways, let's just keep going on here. You will be running into Bakoras. Like I said, Bakoras are rare enemies, but you also run into stronger versions of the enemies, like so, and you will get, well, not the Liege of Lynx. That was another reason I got the title Liege of Lynx, which you have to do linked arts a certain number of times. But it'll really help you out with the Scholar of Rare Monsters trophy or title. I'm sorry, title. It'll help you with the Enemy Scholar title if you're trying to look for that, and that helps you with rare monsters and such. But yeah, let's just go in here, and we're gonna be looking in nooks and crannies, looking for stuff and everything. I was trying to find the climb button. I was like, huh. Well, there we go. We got some fine wood. We're trying to find more materials and stuff like that. I was like, oh, there they are. Heavy treat. Heavy treats are really good because they heal your party at a certain number of points, and not only that, we just keep looking for stuff and whatnot. Be sure to go into each single room, because that's where they have the puzzles and stuff like that that will kind of tell you what that will kind of give you a special item if you go ahead and do so. Just be mindful, like I said before, don't worry about if you have to open up your map on a constant basis, because this is a labyrinth.
The enemy has infiltrated the port sector. We need to reinforce the port side defenses.
Port sector, roger that. We're sending additional troops your way.
This is another puzzle right here where we have to grab a box here, and then we have to push it all the way onto the other side. And it's just like you have to maneuver it through these stationary blocks that won't move. So you have to grab this box and just push it all the way up against this 2-story thing right here. I normally just put it in this little cranny right here because it kind of fits the mold here, and then we can climb up and get this treasure chest. That's pretty much like the most complicated puzzle you'll find. And inside is an Omega Elixir, which is a really good item. Hold on to those. I think I've said that so many times already in this playthrough. It's just like, you want to hold on to the Omega Elixirs. That's kind of just a last-minute resort kind of item to be using. So just be mindful of that. And like I said, this side right here,
an impressive display of skill.
Anything for a lovely lady such as yourself.
An impressive display of flattery as well.
I wanted to keep that in. I thought I don't think I've ever shown that one. That one was kind of funny. Is whenever you have Mila linked up with Rowan and they finish the battle like that. But on this side, again, this is kind of a, you have to come in from a different angle kind of room because it has it blocked off and all that other stuff. And on outside here, as you guys can see, I ran into another Bakura, so I got to fight it. And I got him right before he faded it away. I was so happy about that. I was like, no, don't go away. I want my experience points. Please give me my experience points. We fought this guy in the last video. I just kind of wanted to refresh you what the Silver Bakura is. The Silver Bakura, like I said before, they're kind of really high-level monsters, and they're really resilient, but they're worth a lot of experience points. If I do recall, this guy's level 60. These monsters are level 60, the Silver Bakuras are. And they always go in increments of 20 levels. Like, the regular Bakura is level 20, the Bronze Bakura is level 40, and the Silver Bakura is level 60. And then when we eventually run into the almighty Gold Bakura, he's going to be level 80. That's a high enough level. But like I said before, these guys don't really pose you guys too much of a threat because they just hit. They don't hit you very hard for much damage. For being a high-level monster, the only thing they have astounding is their resilience to all your attacks, because they can pretty much resist everything.
Stronger than I look.
But we just used Mystic Art to just go ahead and finish them off and all this other stuff. But that's the Silver Bakura. Like I said, I ran into 3 of these things when I was running through this dungeon. I was really surprised about that. But inside this treasure chest is another life bottle. We can always use more life bottles. Life bottles are very important. But now, what we need to do is I need to go into the next room, go around, backtrack on the other side, and go into that single room because it has something in there for me. That's exactly what I was going to do. I was either going to do that or just go straight ahead and just catch it on the flip side. I don't think I'd do that. But let's go ahead and... if you are going to get tired of fighting these guys, because like I said, they do respawn on a frequent basis. If you are tired about that, you can always run away. It's a valuable tactic, and honestly, it's like that in every RPG that I know of. After a while, you fight all these things, and yeah, it's experience points, but after a while, it just gets tiring, and you just want to go ahead and just finish the dungeon and all that stuff, and you just like, I just want to keep going through. So, honestly, I just end up running, and a lot of RPGs I do that. So don't feel bad if you have to run just because you're kind of getting sick and tired of seeing these guys and fighting these guys and wasting, like, you know, a good minute or 2 to fight these guys. I don't blame you, because that's kind of what I resorted to doing after a while. Just like, I'm tired of fighting these guys. Just want to keep going. The recording's going on 45 minutes at this point, and I'm just like, I haven't really got much product. It's 16 minutes for you guys right now, but for me it was like 45 at this point. I was just like, gosh, just stop spawning. But anyways, now we're gonna finally get up to our first generator out of 2. And if we come in here into the starboard engine room,
How do you disable one of these things?
It takes a gentle touch.
I love how Alvin's just like, eh. Because everybody's like, how do you disable the generator? I don't understand it. And Alvin's just like, eh, let me do it. And he just shoots the generator and it just breaks. And it's just like, oh, that's how you do it. But as of right now, from the looks of it, unless it's like, except for that last room on that side, we're going to go over to the port side. We are pretty much done with the starboard side. So let's go ahead and go into the room where the warp is. So the warp is actually right here. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll go over here and swap over to the port side here. And like I said before, there's another Bakura right there. But he runs away. There's no way I can get him. There's no way. He runs away. He's just like, eh, I'm not going to get that guy in time. Yeah, he ran away just in time for that. But I'm going to go backtrack into that last room to kind of go and see if there's more treasures. And sure enough, as soon as I do that, my luck was astounding. I ran into a Bakura as soon as I just got outran by the last one. There was one that just popped up right there. These guys, I think, have like a really low percentage spawn rate. So finding those guys are really hard. Like I said, my first playthrough, I ran into, I think, 1, and I tried using the whole, you know, dark bottle tactic that I showed you on how to get those Bakuras and all that other stuff. But, and this was kind of annoying. I was trying to adjust the camera so I can get that material. But, when I first played this game, I found out about the dark bottle tactic, about using the dark bottle to have the Bakuras come to you instead of run away from you. And I tried it, and I activated it right before, you know, I could activate the dark bottle. So he started running as soon as I activated the dark bottle. And that was my only chance I found of Silver Bakura in my first playthrough. I was really kind of annoyed by that because I thought for the longest time that Silver Bakuras were only here at the E.S.S Zenethra. And I was really upset about that. I was like, man, I'm not going to get that trophy now. I eventually found out that they are, in fact, in another place. And I ended up getting my platinum. I did get a platinum trophy in this game. You have to do this. You have to play this game twice in order to do it. But I'll go in more detail about that on the bonus episode when the Let's Play is done. But inside this treasure chest is 4,000 gold. So let's go ahead and exit this room, and then let's continue on the port side here. I think the only thing left for us to do is to literally go to the generator on this side. My best tactic is to, whenever you're coming to this dungeon, is you want to take care of one side after the other. You kind of want to just do one side, focus on one side, do it all, and then go back and do backtracking and stuff like that if you missed any rooms. But that's pretty much it. You just kind of want to stick with one side and everything. But in here, let's go ahead and check this bookshelf, see if there's any goodies in here for us. And sure enough, there is. There's syrup bottles. We do not need that because we have plenty of them. I always hate that. It's just like I have to discard crap. But there was really nothing in this room. I was really surprised by that. That lone syrup bottle was pretty much it. And as you guys saw when we exit the room, there's another silver Bakura. I ran into, like I said, 3 of these. Not including that one from the last episode. So grand total 4 this whole dungeon run. So let's go ahead and fight this guy. I'm not even going to show the battle there.
On it.
And now, both the generators are down. So now what we can do is we can go back to where the barrier bars were.
Should be gone now.
Let's return to the central hall.
So we need to actually go back to the central hall, go through the room where the barrier bars is, and go straight up to march up to Gillen's headquarters. The thing is, though, I still have one room I have left to explore. I'm going to go ahead and do that because, like I said before, this is your only shot at going through the dungeon. Might as well go pick up all the treasures, right? But I know a lot of people don't like backtracking. And this dungeon makes you backtrack a lot. So, and I'm sorry about that. I know, like I said before, I know a lot of people that don't like backtracking. And I've grown up with Metro games, Castlevania games. I love backtracking. I've actually kind of just embraced doing backtracking altogether. I know it annoys a lot of people because, you know, you are visiting rooms you have gone through before. But I've really, really enjoyed backtracking because it just makes me make sure that I've gotten everything. You know what I mean? It makes me really conscious and aware of my surroundings and everything. If I know where one room is, I'll definitely know where another one is. And I'll know what's in that room, what I have to do in that room, yada, yada, yada. But of course, you know, it's replaying games and stuff like that will automatically make you aware of that, but that's kind of what backtracking has taught me to, you know, be mindful of. But right now, what we're going to be doing is not going up there, because I thought there was a path that led up to the to the warp room. In fact, it's actually on the other side. I'm going to have to go down and around to go to it. We'll just loop around right here and go up here. There should be a room that'll take us to the other side. Actually, no, it just takes us back in here. Like I said, you kind of get lost in here a lot, but I was just like, God darn it, where was I going? And then I was trying to be mindful of my surroundings. What I need to do is I need to warp back to the other room, and I went in the wrong frickin' door. What you need to do is you need to go back to that warp room, get warped back, and then make your way down to that one lone room that was in. Right here. As soon as we warp back here, we should be going back this way. And now, the only thing that's stopping me is one room away. So let's go ahead down that way. I should have, honestly, when I first came here, because it's obvious I was here, should have just kept going, but like I said before, backtracking doesn't bother me. And I was like, well, I guess I'm going to have to fight these guys because that guy blocked my... And I was like, oh, I snuck through. And there's a treasure chest here, and I'm surprised I missed this one. Inside's melon gel that restores both your TP and your HP, about 30%. That's a good item to have. And there's gosh darn Golem. Block my path, I gotta beat him and get out of there. I think I actually just ran away, because at this point I was just tired of fighting these guys. I was just like, hey, I just want to get through this. Just let me get through this. What? I love those enemies that go, what? It's just like your freaking gruff voice and everything. Like, what? What'd you say about me? I'm gonna play Ring Around the Rosie with you. What? Let's go in here. And good thing I did go ahead and do this because there was a stat increasing item in here. I'm really glad I backtracked for this. So now that we've gotten pretty much everything, except this venomous stinger in this cupboard right here. Well, now that we've gotten everything, we can actually go back to the central hall. I have now looked in every single room of this dungeon. So now let's go back to the central hall and progress with the story. So essentially just go back to where you were before, and now that you've destroyed both the generators, the barrier bars should be down, and you should be able to go pass right through and go march right onto the deck where the main headquarters is. Go to the control room. That's the room I'm looking for. And I was really oblivious to that shiny that I just missed. I'm really surprised I missed that.
Activity is increasing. We need reinforcements.
Roger that. Dispatching reinforcements.
I don't care about your reinforcements. You guys aren't gonna bother me. So we're gonna go back up here. And as soon as you come to this area right here, you should be able to go through to the central deck. Now this is the last area before the control room. There is going to be a save point here. I really would suggest you guys use this save point, because what we're about to experience in the next few episodes is very important. So this is kind of your last save point for a good, I want to say about 30-40 minutes. You kind of want to use this save point. It's just a fair warning. You guys don't have to do it. If you're speedrunning this game, don't use speed. I don't know if anybody's ever speedrun this game, but you kind of want to use this because big pivotal plot things are going to happen beyond that door. But for right now, what we're going to do is, after all that fighting, everybody's around level 50 at this point. I've leveled up so many times from these battles that I've been getting in that you guys haven't been seeing. I've leveled up so many times I need to go ahead and just use my Lily Orb. So we're nearing level 50. Actually, Elise at this point is level 50. Everybody else is around level 48, 49. So that's pretty much it. I would really suggest you use your Lilium Orbs here and do all that other stuff. Do any last minute preparations with your equipment. Make sure all your arts are, put together. Make sure you heal everybody. Make sure you have all your strategies put together. All that other stuff. That's pretty much it. Put all your skills on. That's the last thing I forgot to mention. But at this point, this is kind of like your last preparation for this, because big pivotal things are going to happen. And we got a couple of titles for leveling up our characters and all that other stuff. I'm doing one last thing, and that was healing everybody. Make sure everybody's healed up for this fight. We're obviously going to be having a big boss fight behind that door. So with that, in the next episode of Let's Play Tales of Xillia, we are going to go into the control deck and go and confront Gilland. Put an end to this madness. So with that, I will see you guys next episode.